Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Lockdown Performance. Today we're going to go through two different cars that I've been working on. The Q45 and the Volvo 741JZ. You all know what car that is. Anyway, let's go there now. Q45 first. Just did a mock-up of the T76, so that fits all right. The only thing I'll have to do is modify where the wastegate goes. You can't even see it from here. It's going to go down that way, so I don't hit this wheel here. Yeah, still got heaps of clearance on there. If I put a bonnet on it, which I will, and then I'll run some 3-inch down here, down there. I might move fans, get twin thermos, put them on the other side of the radiator. So, fun and games. All welded up. As you can see, it's probably been heated up many times, but yeah, I just want to make sure it's strong for this wastegate. So, all good. Got the old T4 flange. Split pulse was the only one they had, so I'm going to have to cut that off and weld it onto the other sucker. Just welded that on the inside. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to use the other flange because it's not tapped, but anyway, for now, that'll do. So the bracket's back in, bit of clearance there, like 2 mil. What do we got? Let's see if we can see it here. So obviously we got more clearance there between the tyre and the wastegate now. All those things are back on. And now I need to set up the housing on here, and then the return line and the feed line, and should be able to start it soon. Housing's in. I used a bit of goo, so yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Freaking, I'll wait for about an hour and then I'll give it another tightening, and then I will tighten it again after I heat it up. So seems to be alright, but that bracket's really good without that support there. Fun and games. Housing's in. Rehousing, front housing. Basically all I've got to do is just run some lines, put the housing, compressor housing on the front. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to modify anything over here, but I reckon it should be pretty close. So, and then obviously that's just going to be running straight out of there until I get a flange to fabricate that up. But yeah, getting there. So the turbo's in, all the lines hooked up. Might give it a start and see if I don't have any oil leaks or anything on it. I think I've got battery power. Yes, I do. Everything's unplugged from there. I'm unplugged. Intercooler's open. Let's go. Lucky I got the bonnet off this fucking thing. I don't know whose fucking idea it was to put fucking Phillips head fucking screws on the regulator. So what I've done is fucking hit the fucking top of the screw with a fucking screwdriver, because the cunt fucking stripped out, mate. And guess what? I got it loose. Fucking legend, mate. So I've replaced the fitting on the fuel rail. That's got a just an adapter on there, and I don't know if you can probably see that now. The return line's clamped off. What I'm going to do is get a joiner and then join a bit of hose onto it and sort of work out where I'm going to put my fuel reg. Looking at this, I would say it gets mounted like, let's see, where's the bloody, so that can be, that would be the return line there. Let's have a look at this diagram. Okay, yeah, that's the return line. That's going into the fuel rail, and then that will have the gauge on there, which I've got somewhere. That's it there. So yeah, I've got to have a think about how I'm going to do this, but man, what a job it was to get that. Lucky I had some spare screws to get this off without damaging it. I ended up having to, like you've seen in the previous part of the video, get the screwdriver in between there and the fuel rail and just tapping the screw until it sort of came loose. Lucky, otherwise I would have had to take the whole bloody manifold off. So that was the Q45. Now we'll have a little bit of a look at the old Volvo. So as you can see, I've tacked up this bloody downpipe for the 740 1J. I've got the old powerful glasses on, and I will try to run a half decent weld on this. See how we go. Hopefully I don't run out of gas, and hopefully it doesn't get too windy. Let's go. That's not too bad. Probably a little bit hot. We go down to about 47. We'll see how we go. That's a bit better. It's a bit slow TIG welding it, but that's the way it goes. I'm gonna weld the rest of this up and I'll get back to you. Part of the downpipe's welded up. I'll just let it cool off a bit and make the rest of it up a bit later once I get the wastegate. So everything's back together. That dump pipe goes all the way down. Let's see if we can see it. To there. For now, I could put a V-band on that later. And I will probably put a O2 sensor bung or wideband bung on there somewhere. Just have to work out where. First of all, got to start it or try to start it and see how it goes. See if there's any leaks or whatever. I've got that blocked off wastegate port. That's got to actually have to get cut and moved back a little bit. But nah, apart from that, she's pretty good. So I've got a bit of this stuff here. I'm just going to spray a bit of that in first to see if I've got a spark, and then I'll hook up the fuel system. So we'll give it a go. Friggin', that's my ECU wire that goes in there. Injectors have clipped. I'll just open this a bit, spray a bit of that in there, close it. Let's see if she fires. Yes, we have spark. Just a bit of a rundown of what I've done here on the 740. Obviously, it's the first time having a single turbo on it. Pretty much my fuel system, return, feed, fuel pump, battery for the fuel pump. Just running a factory reg at the moment. Then I've got my positive terminal, a negative, and then my ground from the motor. I've just put that onto there for now. This is a switch that I've got rigged in for the starter motor. I really should have a button, but it's good enough. This one here comes off, I'll show you, we'll go inside the car. If you look at the ECU here, this plug, you've got coils, injectors, and igniter. That powers that, pretty much. And that's how I fired it up. I didn't run it for more than 30 seconds because there's no water in the block at the moment. But what I'll do later on, I'll probably get some new plugs and hook it up properly, give it a couple of good revs. There was a little bit of a vacuum leak, could have been this thing here, but all in all, I'm pretty happy. Hasn't been started now for about 6 months, and yeah, I mean, she's a pretty healthy motor, so God's motor, mate. 1JZ. All the rest are just freaking disciples and apostles. Oh, well, 1J, 2J, the world. It's a bloody nice coffee. Anyway, that's what's been happening on my end. The Q45 has a new turbo on it. It has a fuel reg on it that I haven't fitted properly yet because I want to work out and think about it properly before I actually fit it. And it's got part of the exhaust done already. So a lot of people are probably going to say you should have just left the exhaust that was on there originally. No, that was a totally different size. This one's a 3-inch, the other one was a 3.5, and the flange and all that sort of stuff was different. So that's where I'm at with that. As for the Volvo 1JZ, I had it running, as you can see, no intercooler piping or turbocharged piping, whatever you want to call it. It ran probably for about a minute, and the next time I went to start it, plugs were fouled again. So a couple of reasons behind that would be, well, initially it didn't have any water running through the block. So the temperature sensor's picking up that it's cold, and it's probably richening it up, and also no turbocharged piping. So I'm not going to be running it like that again. I just wanted to make sure there was no leaks, there's no oil leaks or anything like that. Yeah, pretty happy with that. So next episode, I'm going to continue on the 1JZ and the Infinity. I've probably got about a month to go because I'm going to have to go away soon, and I will probably do some work on the Patrol as well. Then I'll have to pack everything up and cover it all over so it doesn't, you know, get shit all over it when I'm gone. Some of it will be here, but I won't be, so. Anyway, thanks for joining. I hope you like my little dummy spit. Like I said, lucky I had the bonnet off on that Q45. Otherwise, I would have given up on that regulator job probably 5 minutes into it. Because, yeah, I don't know, they put stupid things on parts and make it more complicated for people. If they would have put like just a 10 mil bolt or something like that instead of a Phillips head screw, it would have been a lot easier. Anyway, it's done now. Thanks for joining. I'll catch you on the next episode, guys, girls. Awesome. Love yous. Bye.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy, and silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling